5 at Belmont is the first leg of the quaddie, jumping at 2:59. The Glenroy Chaff handicap over 1,700 metres. And we'll have a look at the most recent performance of On Your Head.
Region Star, a length and a half to Bolshevik. Black Chips looking for an inside run, and further back is Test of Strength. It's On Your Head though that led them down inside the last 250. On Your Head in front. Meltem lifts now though under hard riding. Meltem over on the outside draws level, and Region Star gets the split back on the inside of them. Region Star goes through, hits the front from Meltem, and Region Star down on the inside hugging the fence a little.
On Your Head stepped up to the 2,000 metres for the first time there last start, was ridden with intent to lead, what an even tempo. It kicked and was just claimed over the last 150 metres, but wasn't beaten too far. I think dropping back to 1,700 looks ideal. It is the distance range that the horse has run its personal best over, and it should be able to jump and try and dictate this race once more. Second pick is the 6, which is Al Master. It's coming off Carnarvon form, and in the most recent start, it was just restrained back towards last on the dirt there in the middle of the race. It then had to pick up from way too far back in the run, but did attack the line well. And the previous start before that, it also ran some good late sections. So if we can get that soft run in transit from gate 7, I'm confident the horse might be able to run a bit of a race here. Third pick is the 4 Scintillating, returned with a good performance there first up, settled 3 back the fence, managed to be shuffled right back on the turn, and then just had to barge itself clear into the straight and did attack the line well. Fourth pick is the 1 in Beanie, who just was last on the turn there. It got shuffled back towards the tail of the field, and again it was running okay through the line. I think the step up in distance looks okay for this horse. On top in race 5 is the 2 On Your Head from 6 Al Master, 4 Scintillating and 1 Beanie. Race 6 at Belmont jumps at 3:39. It's the Furphy handicap over 1,700 metres, and we'll have a look at the most recent performance of Heavenly Affair, last seen at Belmont.
Run at the top of the home straight by the 350. It's Perceived, the leader, perceived by 1 Alcina, who's trying to squeeze up on the inside, and Palacino is tracking them both, and around their heels Heavenly Affair runs on down the outside with Lookout at the 100 mark. They're across the track. Heavenly Affair, Divine Shadows joining in as well. Heavenly Affair, Divine Shadow, Lookout. There's a finish. Divine Shadow.
A few things went wrong for Heavenly Affair early in the race. It wasn't a particularly hard run race. They were going pretty slow up front, and the horse jumped well but had to be restrained back through the field a few times just to try and find a bit of cover. It was a bit keen in the run as well on that slow tempo. It did loom in the straight. It was just nailed in the final strides, but it's now 3 runs in a row that the horse has recorded some good figures. The last sectionals have all been impressive in each of those events. I think from gate 3, and not a great deal of speed in this event, it may well be able to settle just that extra pair or two forward and prove really difficult to get past. Second pick is the 2 Meltem. Again, it's another horse that should be able to reproduce some good figures if it's able to find a good spot from gate 10. There's a few little ifs there in terms of the map. If they ride the horse positive, we saw last start, it was able to pick up and go well through the line over the concluding 400 metres or so. It was just nailed late by Regent Star, who subsequently performed well. Third pick is the 3 in Blitz and Boots. It's a horse that seems to be improving with every run. Got itself into a position there at Northam, just 3 wide with Cuther in the midfield position. It peeled and was going okay through the line. It wasn't beaten too far. Fourth pick is the 5 in Arsenault, who again probably have admirers here, but the horse does seem to struggle to actually win events. Should be able to get itself into a good spot from barrier 2, and will probably end up somewhere in the first 4 runners. On top in race 6 is 1 Heavenly Affair from 2 Meltem, 3 Blitz and Boots and 5 Arsenault. Race 7 at Belmont jumps at 4:15. It's the Welcome Back Brad Parnham handicap over 1,400 metres, and we'll have a look at the most recent performance of Palacino, last seen at Belmont.
And Newman looking for the rails, run at the top of the home straight by the 350. It's Perceived, the leader, perceived by 1 Alcina, who's trying to squeeze up on the inside, and Palacino is tracking them both, and around their heels Heavenly Affair runs on down the outside with Lookout at the 100 mark. They're across the track. Heavenly Affair, Divine Shadows joining in as well. Heavenly Affair, Divine Shadow, Lookout. There's a finish.
Palacino can be its own worst enemy at times. We saw last start it was just slow away, ended up being last on the fence, had to just bide its time there in the straight, but when it found the gap, it did accelerate well over the last couple of 100 metres. Again, it was a pretty slowly run race, so it did have to try and out-sprint a few other horses that were in front of it that were also sprinting towards the end of the race. But from gate 4, possibly can just settle a little bit more towards the outside. It will need a bit of luck in running, but it will be strong through the line. Second pick is Brad Parnham's Ride and Perceived. The horse itself Was okay there last start, but it must be said when it has won its 2 races over the last 5 starts, it's actually run along at a faster tempo than what it was doing there last time out. So I expect if Brad Parnham just uses that little bit more speed early in the race, gets a few of these horses behind it off the bit, it may prove really difficult to get past. Third pick is the 8 in Abbey Lane. It gets blinkers on for the first time. Paul Harvey's jumping on board. The wide barrier from 14, it may be a sign of intent that they'll try and ride the horse more positively here. And then fourth pick is the 3, which is Golden Arches. We saw their first up. It was just ridden with some intent early before being restrained back to find a position with cover. It's a bit of a bunched field, pretty busy field as well, and then it just went through its gears and was good past the post. Must be noted that second up last prep, it did run a good figure. On top in race 7 is 9 Palacino from 7 Perceive, 8 Abbey Lane and 3 Golden Arches. Race 8 at Belmont jumps at 4.55. The Amelia Park handicap over 1,200 metres. And we'll have a look at the most recent performance of Point Taken, last seen at Belmont.
Point Taken in front of it. Unitime to the outside is about to dig in and make up its run. Racing to the 300. Classic Chant draws equal with I'm Icy, but now Unitime quickly gathers them in and races to the front. Unitime from Point Taken. Don't Like Lakeview and Star just paddling away. Then came Full Stop the Moon. Followed home then over on the inside Classic Chant, but it'll be Unitime and a canter. Unitime won from
Point Taken is coming from that red-hot Unitime race, the 6-horse field, where it equipped itself well. It must be said that Point Taken was heavily supported on that occasion, and although it was outclassed in the concluding stages by Unitime, it did record its personal best for its career, and Jim Taylor's actually made a habit of that just recently. A lot of his horses are racing in very consistent form and running career best figures as well. So Point Taken, if it gets any joy from gate 13, I'm expecting a bold performance here in the last race. Second pick is the 2, Dawn Armada. It was first up over 1,000 metres. Its best figures are over 12 to 1,400, so this looks more suitable. Does draw ideally in gate 6. It should be able to improve second up. Third pick is the 4, which is Asymmetric. It's just had the 1 trial leading into this. It settled on speed in the box seat. The leader skipped away, but it stuck to the task and really cruised late through the line to grab the leader in the concluding stages of that trial. Fourth pick is the 11, Round the Point, who again just had the 1 trial, managed to lead just a 3-horse field there. And it must be said, the last preparation, its best runs were either leading or sitting on pace, and it draws ideally here from gate 2. And with Shooter McGruddy on board, it does look like it should be able to run a nice race first up. On top in race 8 is 9 Point Taken from 2 Dawn Armada, 4 Asymmetric and 11 Round the Point. Best bets at Belmont, race 6, number 1, Heavenly Affair, race 8, number 9, Point Taken. That's all from us here at Perth Racing. If you'd like to keep up to date, stay in touch via our website or on social media. Until later in the week on the box seat, I'm Pete Antonis. Good punting and go well.